to Jake Silver Presents, where we present the best in esports from your favorite players. I am joined by, well, myself. I mentioned on Twitter that I'd be posting a video on this day. I believe it is Monday the 12th, to talk a little bit about my journey as an esports content creator, esports reporter. As many people may have known, this split's been a little inconsistent as terms of my video content, as terms of things that are going on. I haven't been posting a lot regarding the LCS. I have been posting quite a bit during Worlds. And this summer split in particular, I only uploaded two interviews, with 3 more coming out this week, hopefully, depending on the schedule. And I have gotten a lot of questions. What's going on? Everything okay? Are you deciding to take a break from esports? So I wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on in my career as a professional, as an esports professional, and what's going on next. And forgive me if I stutter a bit. I was writing a script for this video, but I realized this isn't a video that needs a script. It needs an honest answer and something to talk about. So let's start with the why I haven't been uploading. I would say there's 3 reasons. Number 1 is time. Number 2 is schedule. And number 3 is kind of a bit of motivation. I first want to talk about the schedule. For those who know me pretty well, they'll know that my full-time job is not esports. As much as I would like it to be esports at one point in the future, it is not my full-time position. I work social media for a healthcare company, which does occupy a lot of my time. I'm in meetings pretty frequently. I am editing videos. I am posting on social media. I am doing a lot of content creation. For me, this year, starting in March, it was very difficult to be able to balance everything. I had just come off a rather tough job situation that really took a lot of my time out of it, and wasn't able to focus much on the esports content because my schedule was so occupied trying to figure out what's going on in the world and then trying to get this job started. So I've been putting a lot of focus onto the job. In addition, the schedule for the LCS has been something that has been positive for the fans. For me personally, it's been a little bit of a hindrance. When you are a working professional, your weekends are really something to enjoy. I usually try to schedule time going home to see my family, spending time with my loved ones here, spending time with my friends. Most people know I'm an avid card game player, so I do try to take some time to play over the weekends. When the LCS was on Thursdays and Fridays, I was able to come home after work, usually in my suit, which is where most people know. Most people have been seeing a lot of my videos. I don't wear the suit as much. I will be wearing the suit for the LCS finals. But I was able to come right off of work. I knew when my questions were going to be, and I was able to schedule my time appropriately. On the weekends, it's been a little tricky. With the 3-game format, it has been a lot easier because I can block off time. I can know, okay, this is happening at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which gives me about 2 hours until the Nexus falls, and I can do an interview, and then I can schedule one now. Right now, as I'm recording this video on Sunday night, I just wrapped up the Dignitas Ven at 8:30, so that gave me a little more time. But I cannot consistently do the LCS on a weekend. It's very difficult and also draining of my mental health because I do want to make sure I can contribute to other things outside of work. So the schedule's been a little tricky for me. I've been trying to balance the two, and I've been talking to a lot of my colleagues, trying to get as much knowledge as I can, because I still vote. I still participate in the LCS. I still interview the players. I actually, most of you know, I did go out to Los Angeles this January to do opening weekend, and I really got a chance to talk to all the players. Excuse me. 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to talk a little bit about time. Now, I mentioned earlier that scheduling is tough. The amount of time that does go into esports is also very tricky. I admit there are weeks that I do interviews that I'm unable to get these videos out as quickly as I'd like, mostly because, again, working a 9-to-5 job, plus trying to get everything else done that I need to do, whether that be taking care of household responsibilities, trying to have a social life. I'll give you a hint. I don't have much of one, but I try. And also just trying to balance everything out between flights, concerts, for entertainment purposes, going out to dinner, traveling for work, anything. It takes up a lot of time. And I am a single operation. Many of you know I did come from the written world of esports where I had an editing team. I had a team that was able to look at my stuff and was like, okay, let's make this change. Let's ask this question. Let's do the grammatical way this way. And I was able to space things out with an editor. For me, it does take a bit of time to edit these videos. And even then, my quality is not as great as I'd like it to be. I'd love to be able to spend more time and learn quick transition cuts so I can make my videos much cleaner, much more impactful. But I can't do that as much because I just don't have as much time as I'd like. I am looking into the future if I'm able to get some sponsorship or things like that to look for an editor that can help me out so I can do these, get these out, publish them. I want to make sure I can improve my social media. I want to make sure that I can improve everything from title cards to titles of my video. I usually have to come up with that very quickly because I don't want to dwell on it. There are times where I do dwell on the titles, but time is very important. And obviously the phrase goes, time is of the essence. And for me, I want to make sure that I can contribute as much time as I can without burning myself out. Which leads me to point number 3. Mental health has been a very impactful part of my life. As many people know, I have been diagnosed with an anxiety and depression disorder from about 2 years old. And in the last 3 or 4 years, I've noticed I have been diagnosed on the spectrum, which makes things a little harder. Obviously, people know I'm a very loud individual. I joked with Vulcan this afternoon that I am very loud to the point where the players have to turn the microphones down on me rather than me turn them up. And I get that. But at the same time, as I mentioned previously, I've come from a job environment that was not very positive, as well as trying to figure out body image things, trying to figure out my own mental health, trying to make sure I can attend regular appointments. And that's really kind of quelled the motivation. I'm trying my best to keep myself motivated to ask these questions. People know I try to put human elements to it. People know, like, hey, he's a person that knows his stuff. He's a journalist by trade, and things are looking up. He knows what to ask these questions. I remember talking to Digon, one of the best esports reporters in the business, and he asked me, after giving a longer question to Cloud9's Berserker, why did you ask that long of a question? And I said, well, I know Berserker's English is phenomenal, but I also know that he's got a great support system if he's not understanding a question. So when asking these longer questions, I'm able to get more information out because he's got a support system that's trained him on the media training. The media training asks good questions, and I know he's improving his English, so I'm not afraid to be able to repeat these questions and work hard on them. When I'm trying to do this, it's very difficult, and the motivation is important. And when things like that, when I try to put out my best work ethic, as I mentioned in that previous story, it's very difficult to keep everything balanced. So I've been taking quite a bit of time off from the LCS. I've been doing interviews. I've been trying my best. I still support the LCS. I watch every game to get as much knowledge to put on my own ballot. And when there are finals, I try to fly out. People see me all the time in the suit. I have been stopped and recognized quite a bit. It's one of those things that, there is a lot going on. And I really do try my best to think about it. But I've been trying to put my mental health first. And that's really impacted my ability to put the best content out there. So what is next for J Silver Presents? Well, I'm not going away anywhere. Right as of right now, I am confirmed to be going out to London this fall to cover the esports League of Legends. I don't know why I call it esports. The League of Legends World Championship in London. I'm not doing any of the other runs in person just because, again, I have a full-time job. I need to be able to make sure I can provide food on the table for myself and be able to pay all my bills. that I can't do these trips. For the LCS, I will be heading out to Los Angeles for the finals weekend. I have been confirmed and I will be joining the team. However, as we get into playoffs, my interviews may be a little stagnant. I may not be able to do next weekend, for example, but I will certainly try to. I will certainly try my best. On top of that, I will be trying my best to look for an editor to help me out. Obviously, with a channel of only 100 and some odd subscribers, please subscribe. I want to try to get as many subscribers as I can. I want to get an editor that can help me out with the videos. They're only 10 minutes, so I try my best to get everything done. I want to make a better title card so I can have the famous AJR's DJ Crying for Help intro, which may be changing for Worlds. We'll see. I got a little bit of thinking to do. But overall, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying my best to put out the best content that I can. And I'm trying to time myself while also not burning myself out. I will be, as I mentioned, doing some playoffs. I will be doing the best I can to get every interview. And then for Worlds, because it is in the morning, I can space out my time and I'll be able to do as many interviews as I can in Worlds. So with that being said, I hope this answered and explained a little bit about what's going on with J Silver Presents, what's going on with myself, and what's ultimately happening with my esports journey. I'm grateful for all the support that I've had. I've met so many people over the last few years that's helped me out. People like David Shynock, Angie from FlyQuest, Steve, otherwise known as Kangas. A lot of these people have been very supportive of my career, and a lot of different people have been really doing the best that they can to help me accomplish the goals that I'm setting out to do. And if you want to help me out, the best thing you could do is subscribe and retweet my videos. Follow me on Twitter. Do as many things as you can to help boost the channel, because this gets more eyes. People can hear more of the stories that I want to tell, and I can try to make a difference in the esports community. So with that, that's all the questions that I have for myself, I should say. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to the channel, and I really look forward to seeing some of you in Los Angeles, some of you at Worlds, and with that, throughout the esports community. I am very appreciative of all of you. Thank you so much.